2 developed by Google, and there are various academic organizations which also pitch into developing their own large language model. And these are others. So some are open source model. Open source means you can install on your personal computer. I mean, install means you can use without internet connection. But some are proprietary. You have to use their platform to use them. So we will, as an academic or as a person who has an academic domain, they may want to modify the existing models, which is not possible with GPT-4. You can get the API access, but that is paid. But lots of things can be done on open source models. So even though it is done by Meta, so it is open source models. Likewise, we have lots of open source models which can be fine-tuned based on our requirement. So I'll explain all these technical terms, what I'm trying to say here. So the overall, what I want to convey that after the GPT or ChatGPT, lots of models for different kind of context have been developed, including medical domain. And why I said that it is very difficult to train or very difficult to build such models? So it is a number of parameters. So the number of parameters, if you go into GPT-4, which they have not disclosed, but this is like, so just for example, this farm model, which are developed by Google, parameters are 562 billion, which we could not think to develop 5 or 10 years back, because you cannot train a machine learning model which has so many parameters, right? So 520 billion is not a small number. So you need a large GPU clusters to do such kind of computation. And with the time, these models get on increasing in their size. So the important question would be like, we are going to get very accurate kind of large language model, but ultimately in the medical domain, how they can be used and whether they can provide a medically relevant answer to a medically technical question or not. So that would be my focus of the talk. So again, something like if you want to see which kind of model developed by which kind of organization, that information is put in the slide. I'm not going to detail of that. And that shows the like overall how this large language model has increased in the number of parameters. And for different kind of tasks, if you try to add task or contextual information, the size of the parameters is going to increase exponentially. So these are the number of parameters. So when I say parameter, what does it mean in language model? So you take a text. So what this model try to do in ChatGPT? Suppose you ask a question like suggest top 5 medication which can be used for diabetes. So how ChatGPT try to give you the answer? So they try to just predict the